thinking.
You want to pick it up from the watch bit?
Yeah, picking it up from the watch bit. So I think not much has changed except for the idea of the you turn into a werewolf. Cavish responded in a space that was of a like an appreciation, and then you kind of went into some of the darker stuff, and he explained that the need for apologies is something that kind of just evades him, as he fully believes that we are who we are because of what happens to us, for better or for worse. And that's I think right where we came back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, awesome. All right, so yeah, I'll pick it up from there. So yeah, you're all kind of eating and enjoying this meal. Celestra is Celestra kind of like flaps over just and comes to Cavish's shoulder. Cavish starts like kind of like feeding the boar as you guys are talking. It's feeding the pieces.
And then Milo gonna not press Cavish, but just say, so what brings you to this space? What's your story?
Oh, well, I've been here for some time. I don't know how long. I do have a family, a tribe, so to speak, but they are far from this place. It took me a little bit to get here. So apologies if you had to wait long. But yes, I am. The appearance that you see, and kind of like, I'd say there's probably a space where like maybe you just finished like your food or whatever, and he goes to like hand you like a piece of meat, and he puts his arm and hand like full on through the fire, not even noticing. So he like kind of hands that to you, and then probably notices a small reaction, whatever that is, and goes, "Yes, I am a being of fire. It doesn't harm me as it would harm you. A descendant of Jinn."
I briefly knew a Jinn.
Oh.
Well, not a Jinn. What were they?
Genasi?
They were a Jinn. A Marid is a type of
Marid?
Jinn.
Yeah. Yeah, Milo would be looking for the word they use for themselves.
Yeah, it'd be fire Genasi would be what Cavish is. Yeah.
And then I knew he was a Marid.
Very chaotic type. Well, I guess all of our ancestors are in some way or another.
It definitely had an impact on the people around him, depending on who you asked.
Yes, well, perspective is everything. So, you're here, having a meal with a perfect stranger, but seeming very open about yourself. You've had many adventures that do not befit a son of a tailor, as you put it. What is your goal next, Milo?
Milo's going to take a moment, and the flames in the small campfire, and look at the flames on Cavish's arms, and and say, my my goal next is justice, is equality. I want to make sure the people around me never feel the way that I saw the wombats feel, and the people of Honoria feel. I never want to see that fear again.
He just kind of stays silent at that. Kind of just staring at you through the fire, and you see like the fire kind of reflects off his eyes. You can tell from your just normal sort of insight space that you're in that he definitely believes your statement. But he just kind of seems, I would say Cavish has been very like comforting and very warm. Pardon the pun. This response is kind of like the response you're getting from him is in a space of we clearly see things in two different forms, and I'd say Milo's getting to the point that with that wisdom, there's a space of like there's a like almost like a chess thing of like seeing some moves ahead.
Yeah.
Milo, you kind of see that. I think from Cavish's expression, there's a space where he doesn't think that any response will be what you want to hear, so therefore he is being silent.
And Milo's gonna fill the silence. He's good at that, and say, well, I mean, of course, I may just be speaking from pain that I haven't worked through, but right now that seems like a noble, as noble a pursuit as any.
For a son of a tailor, noble is very fitting. Milo, you hear you guys aren't that far from the water, so you're occasionally just hearing kind of the waves kind of like come up to the shore and just kind of go in and out. You hear a significant sound of something coming out of the water. Cavish kind of like looks in that direction, snaps the fire away, and grabs his staff. Celestra kind of flies off of his shoulder. He goes, kind of like gives a side eye to you. Looks like we have some company. Should we go say hi?
Milo's already on his feet, holding his staff.
Cool. As you both go venturing off to find whatever large creature or object is coming out of the water, we're going to pause you guys there. Oh yeah. Hey, we got to get to everybody tonight. So
I know.
Cool. So speaking of everybody, we're going to cut to a space a little bit further that is you're all being held in both of you are being kind of pushed into a...
You said it, we're all back together.
We're all back together. You're all of you. Just poop into this room. No. Eldrin and Guar we cut to a scene where you guys are kind of shoved into this room that gives a very like jail cell sort of vibe, except it's completely again that sort of same sort of sandstone sort of texture. You see there's no windows at all. You see the figure that you originally saw, this like indigo sort of Aarakocra, kind of like dips his head in and says in common, in a very like strained sort of voice, "Wait." And then kind of ducks his head back out, and you hear it close.
Again? I am sick of being in fucking jail cells.
Quar, you can stop with the disguise now. They know that you're not an Aarakocra.
Are you sure? Are you
Yes,
sure?
I'm
I don't know.
positive.
I feel like my squawks were pretty convincing.
I mean, if you want to, sure, but I mean, honestly.
Fine.
And then I say, is it? Should I have contacted Norris already to tell him I'm okay? My father mentioned something about hearing a voice in his head, which makes me think that everyone has. I'm not always good at this. I've already contacted my father, so obviously Norris knows I'm fine. But should I contact him myself?
If there's one thing I know about Tal, he loves hearing himself talk. So if he has that much power, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he said it to everyone in Imea. I would check in.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to check in with Norris. I'm going to say, hello, my love. Sorry I didn't check in sooner. Things have been weird. I'm okay. I don't know where I am. I'm in jail. I love you.
Well, say you're with me.
You hear a response so fast that you know that he just immediately responded as the message was still coming in. You hear a response that goes, "Elgin, you're up." Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Jail. Where? I assume land. Glad to hear you're okay. Please tell me you're not around Tal.
Did you say anything? What? Tell him you're with me and it's gonna be fine. We're with a bunch of birds.
Yeah. I got my other bracelet. Hold on. So I use Anrin's bracelet and I say, I am not around Tal as far as I can tell. I am with Guar. We're with Aarakocra. Please stay safe and stay in Anoria.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think he responds. I think it's such a crazy statement that there's like, but he trusts you, so there's that too, right?
Yeah. And then I say, Cora, did you want to reach out to? I know that you are.
Yes, I do.
Sleeping with. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You just take it off my wrist without me.
Yes, thank you. You look down and it's not on your wrist, like.
Oh, all right. You took both. Do you need all 6 messages?
Should I roll a sleight of hand check?
Sure.
Yeah, I would send a message to Broomhilda. Where are you? With Eldrin amongst the Aarakocra for some reason. Hope you're okay. How do we get back together?
Okay.
I miss you. Love, Guar. There you go. It's 25.
Okay. I do have to roll for this. Okay. You do not get a response. There is no response. Mostly because you said I miss your butt.
I didn't say that. That was too many words. That didn't count.
No, Dice Roll, you do not hear a response right now.
Fuck.
If
Okay.
you, so if you tell me you didn't hear a response, I will explain something to you. But
I
Eldra's
will.
not.
I will.
Eldra's
I will
okay.
absolutely say that. She didn't say anything.
Well, there's some limitations of this spell. She may be on a different plane. She may. I mean, we may be on a different plane. For all I know, if we're on a different plane, it's very likely that my father and Norris may have not gotten the message. I mean, they did because they responded back to me.
I
But
think we're in some sort of jail cell. I don't think we're on a plane at all.
no, there's different planes of existence, Gore. Do you not?
Oh, yeah, I
you're
knew
not taught
that. I knew that. I didn't know
Okay,
that.
yeah, of course you knew that. Okay.
Like the afterlife?
Nope. So I go into a full explanation of how my people came from the plane of water, but then we came to the material plane to protect the people on the material plane from the things that were released, like the krakens and stuff from the plane of water. I go into this whole diatribe of of everything.
Just in a space, I'd say, about like a good 30-minute lecture goes by.
Mm-hmm. And then I end it with, and that is why that we are your protectors on this land, and we are your saviors, where you don't see it because we are protecting you from the things that technically were released from the plane of water. But I mean,
saved your life twice in the last 48 hours. What are you talking about?
You hear a latch on the door come up, and you hear the kind of sound of the door opening, and you hear you see, the first thing you see are these very I think in the space of seeing all these air croakers kind of sit somewhere between, I think, 6 feet to 6'5". Like they're usually pretty tall, if I remember correctly. This creature is significantly smaller, probably closer to 5 feet, as their silhouette is what you see at first. But you do see these blinky black eyes that are blinking several times before it's even manages to kind of put this walking stick out. And you hear that kind
did they take our stuff?
No, they didn't. No, you guys still have all your stuff.
Oh, nice. That's nice.
Kind of you hear the staff kind of hit the sandstone as the figure kind of emerges out, and you see a seemingly a similar bird, sort of humanoid, with a long black, long black beak, and you see just black eyes, which is very disconcerting against the almost purely white, feathery skin that is also almost you also see kind of weird tufts of hair coming out too. That's white. It's in a space where you can see the roots themselves are probably a darker, almost black. But as the feathers kind of go out, you see that they kind of have turned white, and they seem somewhat I'm trying to think of how you explain this with feathers. You see a lot of breaks in the the thistle of the feathers everywhere. So this dude looks. What I'm trying to say is this dude looks really old and very white, significantly smaller, kind of an arched back, kind of comes forward, is blinking way too many times. Looks at Eldrin and then looks at Guar. As Guar still is Guar.
But you dropped it, right?
Oh, you dropped it. Okay,
yeah.
cool, awesome. And you hear
when before he walks in, I whisper to Guar. I say, "This might be the Rosaris."
Yeah,
because I see the staff and the old look.
Awesome, fantastic. This is gonna be so great when you just hear it. Name. It just looks like Guar.
Eldrin. Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, we'll say it looks at Eldrin. That's fine.
Okay.
Eldrin Enerath.
Eldrin Enerath.
Correct.
Name.
Guaramon Amarth.
Guaramon Amarth. Thank you. Walks over to the side, is hobbling over to one end and puts their back up against the wall, and slides down to a space where you can see just the knees, kind of poking up from the cloak itself. Sit. and just motions to the ground.
Is this a
I prefer
kinku?
to stand.
I would say for Mike, yes, this is a kinku. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if Guar would know this.
Guar wouldn't know that? Okay.
Yeah. Eldrin says, I would prefer to stand.
Guar will plop down.
What are you doing here?
We do not know. Suddenly appeared here, and we're trying to figure that out. Honestly, we don't want to meddle in your affairs, and we would much prefer to be brought back down to Imea. Are we on Imea right now?
I think Guar would at least on some level recognize he's just repeating what we say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just like take what Eldrin's. I put a hand up and just say, "We're lost, looking for Imea."
Or even better, Honoria, if you could send us back there.
No, I'm on trial there.
Guar.
Okay, understood. Why are you here?
We don't know.
Purple Bird brought us here.
Did you hear the voice in your head? Tal, who spoke. Did he speak to you?
You hear a response that magic is in the blood.
Yeah, that guy. Bad. Very bad.
Bad.
He's not happy with us, and we think that he may have dispersed us and our friends after we defeated some of his
We are very
evil.
strong. He didn't want us to be together. We want to fight him. He's bad.
I mean, we don't want to fight him right now.
No, not right now. We need to level up. I mean, we need to get stronger.
I need to
Understood.
sleep. Where are we?
Wait, what?
How are you here?
Magic.
Magic.
Against our will.
We did not try to be here. We are sorry for inconveniencing you.
Yes.
Very good.
No
I will
trouble.
say,
No
I will
trouble.
say you are much more accepting than this happened in Honoria. I don't even want to think about that. I'd be fine. I don't think you two would be.
Okay.
Or you'd be fine now. You wouldn't have been fine without me initially.
The very old Kinku is kind of just blinking back and forth and trying to consider me. This is Farah.
Do I know that name?
I don't know. Roll me a history check.
Oh, I will.
I know that name.
Do you know that name? Does Guar know that name?
I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't know.
Probably
Roll
not.
for it.
No!
Roll for it.
Do I get advantage? Wait, how
No.
important is this? Because I do have inspiration.
Nope.
It's up to you. We're kind of nearing the end. But
All
it's
right,
a
I
full
rolled
day,
a nat
so-
one.
Oh yeah,
Or, so did I.
that's amazing. You both are pretty sure Farah is another name for like. Sorry, one second.
Is that a smelly kind of cheese?
Farah is another name for like Colville. So I think you guys just like for a second you're like, oh, we're in. I don't remember seeing this in Colville.
And I said, well, that can't be correct.
No, you are in Farah, the last city of the flightless and the flightful.
Are
We
we
know we are far, but far from what?
on the material plane?
Yes.
How far are we from Guar? What's a place in Imea? The capital. What's that?
What about the Grove? How? Well, they wouldn't know that.
Yes, at that I say yes, Guar. That's why I said the capital, so we could have a landmark that more people would know.
You guys are so good together. As characters.
Well,
Guar,
You know,
you are from there. What is it called?
I'm from Dwendelver. I'm not from the capital.
Dwendelva.
Okay, well, what is the? Are we close to?
Oh, you said
Dwendelver?
Dwendelver. Yes, we're far from. How far are we from Dwendelver?
Dwendelver.
Yes.
3 days journey by flight.
And
You
by
can't fly.
foot.
Yes. Oh, 3 weeks?
Oh,
don't
that is
know.
unacceptable.
How
God
fast?
damn
Really
it.
unacceptable. All
This
right,
is
Guar. Here's
bullshit.
here. I completely ignore the old man now, and I say, Guar. Here's the thing. I took us. When I. The reason why we didn't bring my husband with us is because I didn't want us to not be able to all get back to Honori together. It's just me and you right now, buddy. So we sleep, and then I can bring us back to Honoria, and then from there we can find the rest of us.
Eisenheim. How far are we from Eisenheim?
About 4 days by flight.
So even
So-
longer.
4 weeks by. God.
Okay, so Guar, best option. We sleep. I pray to Persona. Persona brings us back to the temple in Honoria. And from there, we figure everything out. We'll find everyone.
Okay, listen. If we do this, do I have to go to trial?
No, you know what? I'll pardon you. I don't know if it works that way, honestly,
How do
I
you not
wasn't
know
taught-
if it works that way?
because I'm the third in line, Guar. I wasn't meant to rule, so I didn't get all the lessons that my brothers did. I apologize.
But you're the only reasonable one of the bunch. I've met them all, I think.
I mean, you met them, but you met them not in their prime. You met them in their sadness. So,
How
I mean,
short
you
is your
met,
lifespan? How did I not meet them in their prime?
I mean, you met Volmos.
I
when he was-
apologize.
Sorry.
The awkward silence is
And then Eldrin says, I apologize. If we just can have a place to sleep for the night, honestly, I can go to sleep now. We had a very tough morning. We can be out of your feathers. I think that the term is hair, but for you, I will say feathers in the morning. You won't even have to.
Realisms on the land. Don't do that. Listen, thank you for not detaining us.
Eldrin says, why are you bowing, Glor? Why?
I'm not bowing. I'm just,
Well, it
this
looks-
is just, I'm showing respect. I'm showing respect. You should try it sometime. Anyway,
okay.
sorry. So yes, we would love to place to sleep if that's a possible, and if there's any way we could talk to someone in charge. We need all the help we can get to fight. Magic is in the blood. We don't want bad. We need help. So if you're willing to give that, great. If not, that's fine. We'll get out of your feathers per Royal Majesty. But we just want to cause as little trouble as possible.
Tall.
I agree with that.
Yes. Bad.
Understood. I need to convince others that you are good, not bad.
Well, honestly, if even if you want to just postpone that, let us sleep for like 6-8 hours, and then we'll get out of your hair. Feathers.
Feathers.
Yeah.
Great. I will have them keep you here.
Great. So just go to sleep right here.
I will leave.
Okay.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you, Eldrin.
What is your
Enerath.
name?
Nice to meet you. It just kind of gets up. It goes to walk off.
Nice to meet you. Nice
Alright.
to meet you.
Eldrin turns to Guar and says,
I'll give you a persuasion check
Extremely.
on that. I'll give you a persuasion check on that.
On who? Me or her?
The one that asked, "What's your name?"
That's cool.
Oh well, I rolled a natural 19, so that's a 27.
27. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You hear this. You hear. You see the Kenku open its mouth, and the sound of a gunshot ring out. Just a.
Mm-hmm.
Well, nice to meet you.
And after he leaves, Eldrin turns to you and just so much, just like she's so sincere. She goes, "I think that went fantastically."
Listen, we still have all our gear. They're not going to detain us. They're letting us sleep. I mean, that could have been way worse.
You do hear like a heavy lock behind the doors, but so
besides the lock, I think that went great. Honestly, Guar, I just need to be able to sleep and then pray to Prasanna in the morning, and I can get us out of here.
Well, maybe I can pray to Bahamut tomorrow, and maybe he can get us out of here.
I mean, it took a lot of work to get. I had to it's a whole ritual and thing. I don't think that can happen. You're more than welcome to try, Guar, but there are some things that people like me can do that people like you can't.
I like talking to Pooh a little more, I think.
You know what, Guar? Maybe you should take the first watch.
Look, at that,
maybe I will.
At that, it just fades to black as we switch over.
Actually, well, as Aldrin's laying down, she goes, "I am happy to be here with you."
Love it.
Guar goes, "Me too."
Great. Cool. And we cut to Saren. So Saren, you are. I think I need to change this again. I apologize. Oh, cool. Stream Deck's not even working. Awesome. What's happening, guys? This is crazy. 1 second. I need to. Are you guys still hearing music?
No.
Okay. This up before it totally freaks out again. Okay, cool. So Saren, as you are descending the mountain, I would like so you've been doing so for probably about maybe 3 hours. You're going. I will say this, because you're going from behind your current position, or you from behind your position of where you're sitting on that. The snowstorm is going right above you, so there is kind of a little bit of a sense of like at least you're not feeling too like nasty with everything, but you're still also not dressed for the weather as well. So about 3 hours in, I would like a perception check and then another Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Dirty 20 and 19 on the Constitution.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. All right. So dirty 20, you and Gerard are trying to make your way down. You see in the distance, an interesting sort of looking boulder. Looks like there's possibly like some sort of, at first kind of looks like there's maybe like some sort of flag or some piece of like maybe like a plant that's kind of just blowing in the wind, until you kind of make out in your spaces. You're kind of rubbing your eyes trying to kind of like see in the reflection of it. You see that it's actually looks to be a hill giant that is sitting kind of like in like almost like a thinker sort of position, sitting on top of a like boulder outside, or sitting on top of a boulder on the side of the mountain, about maybe about like 150 feet away from you. Doesn't seem to have seen you. Actually, let me make sure. Yeah, doesn't seem to have seen you.
She is. First of all, is her pass without trace still up?
No. When would you put that up?
At the beginning of the battle.
Yeah, I would say probably not because
Or
of the
oh wait, you
like
just said it was 3 hours. Never mind.
yeah.
It's only an hour. Um, she's gonna start to go a little bit closer.
Okay, cool. Um, uh, okay. As you come closer, such that clearly you can make out a space of the hair itself looks to have been like kind of tied in a weird sort of top knot, where you can see there's like a bald spot around it, and there's hair that's kind of coming from the sides as it comes down, and it's very long. Like the sides themselves, they look to be like kind of like a dark black, and that's why you kind of notice them sort of in the space of the wind. Um, I would like an well, dirty 20 perception check's pretty good, but I'd like an insight check just to see what comes of that.
27.
27. Jeez. Okay, cool. Um, the like sort of thinker sort of stance that you were seeing, and then actually looks more like this. As you see, this is a hill giant who is in looks to be with a 27, looks to be in some sort of state of mourning.
Is it because we killed all his friends?
You have no idea where you are. It's hard to say.
Goes closer.
Okay. Um, I'll say at this point, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Uh, 21.
Cool. I rolled hot garbage, so you're good.
Or wait,
Yeah.
I did not do that math. Did not do that math right. 20, 31.
31. Okay. All right.
I rolled a
Jeez.
19.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Gerard like periodically starts like moving in the other direction because Gerard also doesn't seem to see you until you make your presence known. Cool. The 31, you're able to kind of get right up to the giant. You can hear these like deep sort of like sobs that are in a space that like almost sound like laughter because they're so deep. Like there's the like it's like that. Um, but yeah, I'd say at this point you're probably within 30 feet if you wanted to be.
She's gonna just ask him, are you okay?
Oh. So like um, like a hand like into the boulder, and you can even hear just the thud of the hand hitting the boulder as it kind of like gets up and looks around for that voice. Still doesn't see you.
Uh, I'm down here.
Mm. Mm. What?
Do you happen to know where we are?
Cliff.
Helpful. Um, do you know how I could get off of the cliff?
Down.
Uh, do you know which way the grove is. A big tree. Really big tree.
Okay, cool. Uh, you mention the grove, and you see this hill giant just pull up the boulder that it was like leaning on. And I'd say the boulder in like representation to himself, it's probably about half his size. So the boulder itself is actually pretty dang big, considering like a huge creature. The boulder itself would be at least large, if not bordering on the space of huge. Hearing that, just picks up the boulder with two hands and launches it out way farther than it makes sense on a on a strength aspect. Like this thing is crazy strong, and just like chucks it out, and kind of sits itself in like a primate position against that. Um, Not far enough.
Uh, so that way, then. And she points to the direction of the boulder.
Roll me a persuasion check.
13.
Okay. Why go there?
Um, I'm trying to find my friends, and they might be in trouble. I don't know. I just kind of showed up here, and I don't know how I got here.
Hmm.
Did you hear the scary voice too?
Hmm. Many time.
Well, that's probably not good. I think that had something to do with it. Um,
Grove in danger.
mhm.
Bad place for one so small.
Yeah, we didn't have a super great time there.
I truly think that statement makes no sense to him whatsoever, so he wouldn't respond.
Um, so I guess I'm gonna just go down the mountain.
You die. You're tiny.
I, I'm pretty fast, so I hope I don't
You
die.
you go to Grove.
Yes,
Uh
I do.
have brother there. If help you off mountain, you go to Grove and get brother.
I can try. I will do my best.
You see him kind of like looking around, and you rolled pretty high on the insight check. There's a space where you see this giant kind of looking around at a it's hard to like see anything except for a rock wall on this side, but you see a look of forlorning in a very like simplistic sort of face. So I would say you just see a sad look, but I'd say you rolled like crazy high on the insight check too. So um um I think that kind of helps the decision a little bit. I try my best to help down. Get on.
Thank you. And she points to Gerard. Can you take both of us?
You eat?
No, friend. He's my friend.
Hmm. Gives like a big sniff towards Gerard, who like Gerard kind of like cowers back, like gets into a space where he's like ready to kind of leap on this thing's face. And I think you see him go, no, they'll make it down. Get on.
We said no to Gerard.
Said no to Gerard.
No.
For the record, too, Gerard also has like crazy leaping skills.
Okay.
So there is that factor too.
Okay, so he could, like, Saren would be pretty sure he could make it down.
I'd say you rolled pretty high on the insight check. The sniff was to see if they recognize what Gerard is, and it's like solidified response of no, it will make it down means that it probably knows that it's a moorbounder.
Okay. So she'll jump on its back and just tell Gerard to follow them.
Hold on. And then just leaps out into the night. We'll pause you there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Cool. And last but not least, finishing up our space for the night, we get into the calming space of Wilbur. Wilbur, you just kind of pull yourself out as you hear, as you still hear the echoes of Guar and Elgin's voice in your head as they are just jabbering at each other. They do look safe. You did see where they were held. I'd say you also saw the elder come in, the Kenku. Sorry, you saw come in.
Wilbur will remark out loud to seemingly just himself. Wow, I checked in on Eldrin, and the first thing that she wants to do is run away to Honoria. I don't think she cares about me. Huh.
Wow, sounds like a good friend. As you hear this voice behind you, you turn around and you see a figure that is welcoming on a space of power, but certainly not welcoming on a space of friendship. As you see a version of Cerilius where you can see the wings themselves have been. Did you guys ever see Cerilius's wings? Did we ever make that a thing?
I think we knew that he had them, but I don't know that we've ever seen them.
Burned off or something like that?
They are burned off, yep. And there's just there's a space where you can see that he looks to you actually see like a scar like over his face. And you see that there's like some rips and tears at his like normally very luxurious white robes. And you can see the I'd say you can see like one wing kind of poking out over the shoulder. And he just looks at you and goes, so what did I miss? And with that, we will end tonight's session.
You gotta be shitting me. So Eldrin gets Guar, and I get stuck with Cerilius.
That's the last.